Hey everyone, and welcome back to some more Pokemon Colosseum. Last time, we ventured into the Snag'em hideout and got some last few remaining Shadow Pokemon. We also rematched Gonzap in order for us to capture his, the Skarmory. I was blanking on the name of the Pokemon there for a second, my bad. Don't you love it? Having a recurring trend in your own vernacular to where it's like kind of impeding. Anyway, this time we're more or less just going to be covering everything else in the rest of the game, mainly because there's honestly not that much left here. I'm kind of just decided to go ahead and speed up most of the remaining footage here in this video. So that's what you're currently seeing in the background. I'm only showing these few instances here just to at least give a heads up that I did indeed go back to Real Jam Tower in order for me to get the Absol, which surprisingly wasn't nearly as hard for me to catch the the second time through. Although, to be fair, I was kind of surprised that now that I'm thinking about it, I'm kind of mad that I didn't show this off when I was recording this for the first time. Well, not the first time, technically second time, but you get the point, right? I'm mad that I didn't show my rematch with Nascor and Evis. I would honestly say that fighting Evis the second time, he somehow managed to play worse than his first fight, and I'm sad that I didn't get to show that off, but that was mostly because I kind of got the idea that, we've already seen this before, why show it again, right? But I don't know, it was just one of those moments that I really wanted to try and showcase. So now that we got the Absol captured and down, I from then on decided to go ahead and challenge the remaining Colosseums in the game. There were only 3 left for me to go through, and the first one down was to do the first proper rematch against the Pyrite Colosseum. If you remember, back when we were first visiting Pyrite Town, we took on the challenge from Duking at his request to see if we could gain some insight into Mirabee's antics. I'm almost out of breath trying to talk about this. So that's the last time that we did this, and so now, rematching the Colosseum again, Pokemon here are level 50. So keep that in mind if you're going to be wanting to rematch the Colosseums, is that they're going to be, or even trying to challenge the Colosseums for the very first time. Specifically Pyrite, because Pyrite has a pretty high difficulty spike after the first match, or after the first test matches. So just keep that in mind when you're doing that. Also, I kind of wanted you just to go ahead and do this, mainly because I really wanted to get the prizes and the cash money for the completion of these Colosseums. So that's kind of also what motivated me to do this. Another reason too is that I really wanted to level up my Pokemon before we went into the last set of battles that we were going to be partaking in. I'm going to eventually show them later on in the video, right? But just know that the fights can get pretty tough. Not necessarily tough for me, as you'll eventually see, but if you're playing through Colosseum regularly and you didn't necessarily do what I did, and that was climb Mount Battle during the story mode, then you might be in for a tougher time. So there's that going for you. Another thing too is, though, it's just, I don't know, it's I feel like the difficulty spikes in this game are a bit mean, honestly, especially for going for 100% completion too. It's if you're not that intuitive or proactive about leveling up your Pokemon, you may or may not have a hard time. I mean, granted, it also really depends on how well you play too. So it's depending on how you engage in a battle, it could easily not matter. But just know that there's a lot of level deficits between you and the final bosses if you didn't necessarily do training on Mount Battle, which it's crazy that Mount Battle exists in that sense, because I to be honest, I didn't even know that training on Mount Battle was even an option. You know, it's like I had said before, it's like I wasn't even remotely aware that you could do this before doing the final fight with Nazgul and Evis, and even Gonzap too, right? Like I obviously you saw me having a lot of hard times trying to capture that damn Skarmory when it was still under Gonzap at the Snag'em hideout, so I can't imagine how much more easier it would have been had I tried to catch it the first time. I probably would have been losing my mind, but that's neither here nor there, though. I will say though, as we get closer to like the main event here, which is the Deep Colosseum, I gotta say, the Under Colosseum, right, the one that we're currently showing right now, is really cool looking. Like, talk about like underground matches, right? Like, this is like such a cool like setting premise that it's just cool. It's just really, really cool. And I will say though, and like the lead up to like the final big fights, right? A lot of the under fights were really well, I probably shouldn't be saying too much about it, right? Because if you clearly look, Ifrit is already level 71, crazy, right? It just kind of goes to show how much I trained both Ifrit and Atlas to such heights, right? So, but the fights here weren't necessarily that bad. It's not until we get to the Deep Colosseum, which is like one of the last remaining story Colosseums that you can partake in, is where things start to get a bit tricky. But aside from that, most of these fights were relatively straightforward, all things considered. Aside from the few near close misses of losing some Pokemon like Espeon, right? Like you see right there. Aside from that, you know, the lead up to the Deep Colosseum was pretty smooth, but it's where it gets tricky for sure. Moving on to the Deep Colosseum, finally, is where things start to get a bit more interesting, to say the least. Where we fought the Cypher head bosses at Real Gem Tower, right? We don't necessarily get to rematch Evis or Nazgul. Who we do get to end up fighting are all the Cypher admins here. First one up here is Mirror B, who has a bit more of a decked out team than last time, and it quite shows. This is where I was saying that the fights start getting a lot more challenging. Level 60s are where the range of Pokemon start to hover around, and honestly, to be honest, this was a bit more of a cakewalk than I was anticipating, mostly due to the fact that it's just like, again, Ifrit, Atlas are like my main carries throughout this entire endeavor too, so it's like it just is what it is. You can see that Ifrit goes down here relatively quick because that's just my fault that I wasn't necessarily comprehending that these things have really high damaging moves, right? Especially Hydro Pump. Like, it's always awesome to have Hydro Pumps always land on my teammates, but anytime I try to get non-stop back-to-back Fire Blasts on theirs, I always seem to miss every single time. Anyway, rant aside, this was honestly a pretty good warm-up battle for what was going to be coming, because let me tell you, it doesn't get any easier than this, okay? Because it just kind of gets outright mean at times for me, because, well, it's not... I'm not going to say that the fights get mean, but they do get annoying for me, at least for me. So, aside from that, Mirror B fight, pretty straightforward. I probably should be listing in the background all the prizes and rewards that you're able to get from doing all the Colosseums. So I'm gonna go ahead and list those here because something I probably should also say too. It's like here in the Deep Colosseum, you start getting a lot more prize reward money too, and the prize reward cash, right? Whatever, right? However you call it, is something that I really wanted to get a hold of because I'm gonna be going insane trying to purify all the shadow Pokemon in this game, and sure enough, it's gonna be a hassle for me to have to go through Mount Battle over and over and over again in order for me to reduce the hard gauges on all of my shadow Pokemon. So that's what I'm gonna be doing after this video gets uploaded, and at least up until my stream of Mount Battle begins. That's just how things are going to. That's just how things are going to play out. And then here, I missed out on a few little. I omitted on a few details here. Net will occasionally email you about like different updates, right, on Shadow Pokemon. What kind of shady characters are like running around with like certain Pokemon, right, and everything. You get the picture, right? So that first one was the picture of Mir B going into the Deep Colosseum, right? And then we get the email regarding about the Deep King. Deep King is going to be the final boss of the Deep Colosseum, as it's ever so clearly called. Before we had went into the Deep Colosseum, I had managed to pick up a set of steel teeth. You give it to this old man over here, who was literally having a hard time talking without his dentures, right? And he'll give you the L disc. If you insert the L disc, you'll finally be able to go to that platform on the very far left of the area. So, what do you get for all this anticipation of waiting to see that box over here? You get an amulet coin. Amulet coin is pretty useful. It doubles the amount of cash you earn at the end of each battle. So if you're looking to buy a lot of colognes and items and whatnot, like final sets of items, that's what that's there for. So up next we have Dakim, who kind of doesn't really change a whole lot from the final confrontation that we had with him, to be honest. He really doesn't really do a whole lot more. It's not until much later that we get into these cipher admins that start being a pain in the ass. Trying to think of how I remembered this. Again, his whole shtick is that he uses ground types, like a lot of ground types. But thankfully, though, we have Sora here with us that's able to be a good counter against ground types, and eventually he throws out a Flygon, like right here, right now. So that's where that amount of support comes in from Sora. So I have to say, it's like I'm happy with myself that I was able to put together a pretty well-rounded team, all things considered. Because like I was not expecting myself to like really be on the train of wanting to use Altaria at first. Heck, I was even seriously considering using Heracross or even the Flygon too, like you get much later on in the Cypher Lab, I'm pretty sure. So that was like what I was seriously considering and contemplating before I decided to like settle on it. But honestly, I'm happy that I picked Altaria, because again, I've never used Altaria before, and I do try my hardest to try and use different Pokemon that I've never used before. I mean, heck, I've never even properly fully used an Umbreon all the way through in a playthrough of Pokemon, so this was a nice change of pace too. And then obviously I love using Espeon as a really good reliable psychic type too as well, so that's nice and everything. Again, get a good amount of cash prize for getting all of the for getting all the way through these fights. It's really worth it. Up next is Venus, and this is where I started to have a little bit of trouble. Venus throws out pretty standard issue starting Pokemon here. You got a Dusclops and a Raichu. The Dusclops I had a bit of a hard time taking down at the first go at. But aside from that, these two were not that big of an issue. What ended up being an issue was the Bluesky. Bluesky, at level 65, is one of the hardest Pokemon I've ever had the honor of taking down. It is annoying to take down. As you can see, the Dusclops goes down pretty easily. I try to cast, I'm pretty sure, Psychic right here, and then it sends out a Meganium. And it starts to snowball even harder. So Bluesky sets up a Tract against Ifrit. And that's where things start to really get out of hand. I use Psychic here on Bluesky, and yeah, you can clearly see how much health it takes away. Not a whole lot. And Bluesky is by far one of the only Pokemon that has that high of a health stat. It's annoying to take on. And it doesn't get much easier than that either, because I tried so hard to get a sunny day up here, and it just gets impossible from time to time because of how often that stupid Attract and Confusion kept on popping up all the time. It was such an annoying endeavor to have to go through. And I had to use so many Hyper Potions just to make sure that Typhlosion just doesn't go down here. But I kept on getting hit by that damn Confusion. And it was a frustrating fight, to say the least. And I was honestly, at this point, I was getting so frustrated that I wasn't even thinking about like any other kind of strategy. I was just brute forcing it the whole way through. It was not a fun fight for me in the slightest, but at the same time it was taking away a lot of common sense I was having at the time. But it was here that I decided to spruce it up a bit and swap in with Sora. And Sora is able to actually take on a lot of good hits from here, but that's not the meanest thing that happens in this fight. What eventually ends up happening is she does that. She uses a full restore on the Bluesky, and it takes away the burn and fills it back all the way back to full health. So she's mean that way. I managed to freeze the Meganium on the other hand, and Ifrit snaps out of Confusion and is able to finally do stuff. Until you remember that it has the stupid infatuation inflicted on it. Ugh! Sorry, I was going in a little too hard there. Aside from that, once I got through this wall, it was easy going from then on. It's just, my God, they really just love adding in 50-50 chances of you not doing anything in a turn. Like, again, it's like infatuation, I feel like, is the one annoying one that I have almost never go in my favor. Like, I've always had infatuation be an issue for me, no matter where I go with Pokemon. It's like, it's the one status ailment that like really drives me insane. Aside from that, again, was able to do another full blast on Fire Blast on Bluesky, and almost got it to full, got down to like all half health or anything like that. I'm just stammering at this point because they were mean when they were designing her. I'm telling you, like, holy cow, they were mean. And then she sends out Milotic, and that takes out Sora, unfortunately. So I opted to just go ahead and send out Sharla here to take out that Milotic. And I'm pretty sure Ifrit goes down by the end of this here, so that's, yeah, that's, and then the Hydro Pump and everything, again, never goes in my favor, right? Aside from that, that was honestly probably the only fight that I had in this entire arena, so other than that, I'm not gonna say it taught me anything other than the fact that, like, I need to have, like, better, I guess, patience when going up against these Pokemon, because, like, it's just, my goodness, is it, like, a pain in the ass for me to have to, like, sit through and like, make everything work here. But again, I don't know why I'm making that big of a deal about it, right? That's also, like, the fundamentals of, like, competitive fights like these, you know? It's, like, especially in double battles, where it's, like, anything can happen, and you have to really, really be on your toes about playing around it. So, that's that. Up next, we have Ein to go up against. And I feel like he was a lot easier to battle out of the 3 core members of the admins. I feel like, let's be real. Like, let's be honest with ourselves. Mirror B, I feel like, was a late addition to Cypher. Because he's so goofy and he sticks out so much from, like, the rest of the Cypher admins. But, well. You gotta fill ranks somehow, right? And that's just, I guess, what they decided with, in regards to, including Mirror B. So, kudos to you. But then again, to be fair though, Mirror B, still an awesome looking character, and that's all I'll have to say about it. He's so eccentric and chaotic, you just can't help but look at him. I'm talking about Mirror B and not talking about Ein. Ein. A bit of an issue, to be honest, but not something that I couldn't really handle. I'm trying to really think about what there is to talk about with Ein, honestly. I mean, just, like, having to deal with, like, 2 water types back to back was a pain in the ass, like, I'll be honest. And I'm pretty sure at some point, like, Ifrit goes down because of issues, of course, because that's just my luck with pitting Ifrit against water types, like so. And at least it didn't use at least it didn't hit, but you get the picture. It's a toughie all around. Even still, it's like, again, even his Pokemon are starting to get higher in levels too. And we're still like 1 round away from doing the final fight. There is a bit of a funny little thing here that happens. I kind of do a little ping pong between the Gyarados and Ifrit, since I was trying to pop up Sunny Day so that way I can do damage, and then he's trying to do damage. And then he tries to set up Rain Dance, and he tries to use a Hydro Pump in that instance, and it's like, it's just back and forth all around. So that's one toughie of a Pokemon down, and sends out Crobat. Crobat, not too bad, honestly. Honestly though, aside from that, just it's nice free fighting. Or like rebattling all of the Cypher admins here again. So it's like, if again, now that you have access to them, like the opportunities for you to level up your Pokemon are now plentiful. So take advantage of them as they come, and it's like, you won't have to worry about it too much. So that's honestly about it. We're gonna be swapping on over to core commentary for the final fight against the Deep King. So I will see you all at the end of this video. Okay. Now that that is all out of the way, we are finally here in the finals for the Deep Colosseum. All those emails we kept on getting about have all culminated to this. You're challenging me? You don't know what you're in for. Deep King Agnol would like to battle. This is the ultimate battle for the Deep Colosseum in the Under. So we got quite the challenge ahead of us, to be quite honest. I'm a bit skittish about this fight, to be honest. That's why I'm frontlining with Atlas and Ifrit here. So, trying to think. How do I want to go about this? I guess I could start with a bite, and then we'll start strong with a sunny day first. Yeah, this guy's has really, really strong Pokemon, and they're no slouch for what it's worth. I mean, that Sableye is literally level 69, so it's like we gotta be really careful here. And of course, I think the problem is here, though, it's like, oh no. Okay. I think what I do here first is Atlas, you cast a full heal on Ifrit, and then Ifrit will take out the Sableye first. I don't really have a whole lot of concern about that Shedinja. Mostly because it's just gonna go down in one hit from either Atlas or Ifrit, so not a lot of experience from a Sableye though. That's one of the Pokemon I was afraid of. I guess I should have. I guess I probably should have noted before. Before I got too deep into this, Sableye. Level 69 with the ability Keen Eye, Feint Attack, Shadow Ball, Aerial Ace, and Confuse Ray. Shedinja with Wonder Guard. You know its gimmick. It has 1 HP, but will only go down to things that are super effective against it. Silver Wind, Shadow Ball, Dig, and Confuse Ray. A bit worrying given what it's got packed on itself. So, yeah, it's... I gotta hope that Atlas hits the Shedinja here in a second. And then, my nightmares. Kingdra. Swift Swim for its ability. Hydro Pump, Dragon's Breath, Ice Beam, and Attract. Thankfully, no one on my team is of the opposite gender, so we're clear on that. It's just that it's a beast, man. It's like... it's an absolute beast of a Pokemon. I'm trying to think of how I want to go about this. I could possibly Toxic the Kingdra. Yeah, let's try it. No. Let's try and hit the Shedinja, because the Shedinja has Dig, and I don't want it to use that at all against Ifrit, at all. So, yeah, let's try that. And then Fire Blast on the Kingdra, since there's a sunny day up. Okay, good. It's probably going to be quad resistant to it. Yeah, that's what I thought. If I can get a... no. Okay, good. It got down a bite. Good. I'm okay with that. The Shedinja is gone. No digs are going to be coming our way. At least I hope not. Ugh. That thing is just... it's... oh, look what you have. A Hydro Pump. This is going to hurt nonetheless. Yeah, that's a lot. And you're in crit range too, Ifrit. Oh, man. I'm going to have to... yeah, you're going to have to poison it down, I think. Ifrit will take down the Skarmory pretty easily, so I'm not going to worry too much about that. Okay, yeah, you're going down pretty easily. It's just that Kingdra, man. If I can get a Toxic down on that Kingdra, then we're going to be in the clear for the remainder of this fight. No, okay, that's scary. Oh, that's so scary. It's going to get another Hydro Pump in, unless it misses. No. It's in crit range, too. Oh, God. Okay. Shit. Oh, no. Ifrit's going to have to hold out until I can get, until I can get Sora in. I don't know why I blanked on his name. Yeah, Ifrit's just gonna have to hold out. This should one-shot the Girafarig. Yes, it does. Okay, good. If I can get at least one Toxic off on that Kingdra. And then his final Pokemon. A low-leveled... Oh my god, I thought my game froze for a second. A low-leveled Shuckle. Level 45 with the ability Sturdy. Oh, that's just cheap, dude. Yeah. Ifrit, you were a beast this whole way through. I thank you for your service. Okay. Well, it's like the tough moments of this fight are over, so we can deal with everything else from here on out. Ah, that just sucks, though, that... Okay, Sunlight faded at the very least, so... can I please get one Toxic now? Please. Thank you, Atlas. Finally. That way I can just whittle it down. In fact, I'm pretty sure it's probably going to go down... Super effective. Ooh, the poison might actually do it. Ay, there goes Sora. Yeah. I saw that one coming from a mile away on that one. Thank you, Sora, at the very least, for getting it down all the way. I deeply, deeply appreciate it. Okay. Ooh, that's gonna go after... Atlas? Okay. That's why I brought out Charla, but I guess I don't really need to worry about that. Okay. So, here's the conundrum here. It's 45. Atlas is level 72, but Shuckle is a bug rock type. If I am correct, and I will double check here right now. It is resistant to normal damage. So, what I'm hoping is that it doesn't do that much damage. If it does, I don't know what I'm going to do. Uh-oh. Oh my god! Okay. That is good to know. You... Whoa. He's a bit freaked out, it seems like. Okay. No more. No more of that. Dang! That's crazy that he's able to do that much damage. Or that Charlotte is able to do that much damage. Okay. Shoot. Alright then. Great. Ultra Ball. Let's try and capture Shuckle. Charlotte, just clean up Kingdra then. Good to know that a level 63 Ampharos is capable of heading up, of going square to, is able to go toe to toe against a Kingdra, level 70 Kingdra no less, and that's it. That's the fight. Cool. All right. I was worrying about nothing. Oh, I might be worrying about something now. Oh my God, Atlas. That's why. Proving day and day again why Umbreon is my favorite Pokemon of all time. And hey, Marina leveled up. Cool. Awesome. Oh, wow. That went a lot more smoothly than I was anticipating. Okay, cool. I see. You are skilled. Indeed, I am. Sweet. I was kind of a bit dreading it because that's like the highest level Pokemon you can even go up against. There is one more fight that we have to embark on. And oh my God, that almost took me an hour and a half, man. That's crazy. Okay. There's one more fight for us to take on. And it's up at the surface. So let's wait until our intrepid cyber sleuth gives us the notification. Because we are just one Pokemon away from completing the snag list. And that's honestly all there is going to be to it. Wes, you've done it! I've done what? Haven't really elaborated. Oh, Wes, did you go to Cypher's headquarters? Are both of you okay? Yeah, we are. I'm so glad. That's my hero. You're so inspiring. It's been a long evening, but I was not expecting that fight to go down as easy as expected, but here we are at. Cool. There we are. What's with you? Dash says Dash the athlete. I'm Dash from Fenac. I'm just an ordinary citizen who happens to run around the town's fountain. So what gives you the right to have your Pokemon attack me? You don't deserve any respect as a trainer. Shame on you. Aha. Well, what happens if I go talk to him real quick? Yes, it was me that sent you that email. Why did you attack me? Are you doing this elsewhere too? No, I just got out of the deep Colosseum. I will believe anything you have to say. Well, alright then. List completed! Hi, it's Ned. I analyzed the Shadow Pokemon list some more, and discovered the very last one. The last Shadow Pokemon was Togetic. That completes the analysis of the data ROM you provided. Okay. So that will be every single Pokemon that we have. We just need to find the guy who has it, and then we'll be on our way then. Who is this? Bit from the Under. It's Bit in the Under. Wes, I caught you on film. In an unbelievable scene that's terrible and shocking. What's your problem? Why are you attacking people with a Shadow Togetic? That is not me. And I don't even have a Togetic. Alright, time to go talk to Bit real quick then, I guess. I was shocked when I heard the word on the street, but Wes, I know it wasn't you. I believe in you. Got another one. Please watch TV now. Where is there? Oh, wait. No. Oh, wait, there might be one at the mayor's house. Let's go see if that one actually even works. There have been reports of another Pokemon attack on people. Here is shocking footage of the harrowing attack sent by one of our viewers. This footage was sent in by a brat in the Under who declined to reveal his identity. Hmm. Hmm. Someone's committing identity theft, I see. Hmm. Hmm. Even more? Oh god, how much more live TV are we gonna get here? This is the shocking footage of a Pokemon attack on people. Viewer discretion is advised. We bring... Oh, this is incredibly awkward. We bring you this story from the Outskirts stand. This is an exclusive scoop with a video feed. Well, this is honestly a perfect opportunity then to go introduce ourselves. This is rookie reporter Ancha, live on the scene. A shocking new development has emerged. Just when the battle ended, another shady man appeared, and he looks exactly the same as the other man. What's going on here? I, Ancha, will remain on the scene to bring you this breaking story. Well, quite the doppelganger we have here. I'm slightly taller, though. Okay, before we go in, this is gonna be another toughie, but not nearly as bad as the Kingdra that we faced. Well, it's probably gonna be close to being as bad, but I think we can handle it. So let's jump into it, shall we? The resemblance is uncanny, hey? You and me and I am you. You are me and I am you, and we are all together here. I can see that you don't understand, but there is one thing certain. You're going to battle me. Shady Guy West would like to battle. That's how people view me, huh? Oh, dear. That's not ideal. This is awkward. Well, hold on, actually. Hang on. This might actually be okay. The reason why I say that is because it gives us leverage to take out the rest of his team one by one. So if we can do that, I think we should be able to catch the Togetic pretty easily without issue. Okay. We're not gonna have any of that. Not gonna have any of that. You sweet kiss, really? Oh, I love Togetic. I probably should start off by saying, Magnetric, level 68. Ability, Lightning Rod. Don't use any electric moves against it or any team members. Thunder Wave, Thunderbolt, Protect, and Crunch. Right. Use a full heal on Ifrit. And then take out the Magnetric. This we're just gonna keep wailing on the on all the other teammates, and then this should be easy peasy, honestly, to capture the Togetic. I really like Togetic, by the way. I just really like the Togepi line anyways because it's so cute, you know? And then Togekiss just becomes an absolute beast of a Pokemon when you eventually get it later down the line, but that's later and down the line. Okay, good. Ifrit managed to land that. Almost, so Atlas should follow up with the return. Perfect. Houndoom down. 73 for Atlas. lot of experience for Marina. Okay, this is a fun doozy. I'm honestly surprised that Shadowrush missed that first time. Was not expecting. You never see Shadowrush miss like at all. Go ahead and use Bite, and then we'll try another Fire Blast. Okay, good. You make contact with it. Not very effective, but goes down to half. Let's see if I can get a flinch. Aye! Thank God Togetic is not any other type, because holy crap, that would have sucked. Ugh. Although, to be fair, I might lose Ifrit in this fight because he has another one. Right, that's right. Gyarados, 68. With Intimidate, with the moves Earthquake, Strength, Roar, and Hydro Pump. Pretty rudimentary Gyarados, all things considered. There's really not much there is to worry about it. So it went down pretty easily once I got that Fire Blast off. That's just been the fun combo with Ifrit, is Sunny Day and Fire Blast. That's a scary one. Milotic, Marvel Scale, level 68. Hydro Pump, Ice Beam, Dragon's Breath, and Safeguard. Not a whole lot it can do to us. I need to get another one up. Keep on biting it, and we'll put up another Sunny Day if I don't hit myself. There goes Ifrit. Okay, there goes Ifrit. Unless I flinch it. Yep. Bye, Ifrit. Thank you for all the help. Okay. Whew. Yeah, Charla. Charla has proven herself time and time again to being able to take out a lot of these toughies. Yeah, I'm just not gonna touch the Togetic at all. I am not gonna be in that business again. I've been doing so well ever since the final fights, and I'm just not gonna do it. I'm just not gonna do it. It's not worth it. It's not worth it. Although, to be fair, and for what it's worth, you can fight this guy as many times as you need to in order for you to get the Togetic. It's just that here is a pristine opportunity for me to capture it, because I'm just taking out his team bit by bit. Armaldo. Battle Armor, 68. Aerial Ace, Rock Blast, Earthquake, Slash. My bet here is... Oh my god, the stupid sweet kiss! Ugh! Okay. The gambit here is that it probably goes for Earthquake first. So... see if I can flinch it. Fused. Okay, good. Thunderbolt. Oh! Yeah. Thanks, Charla. I really appreciate you. Unless you survive. Oh, but you're being cheap. Yeah, okay. That was just rude. That was so rude. Okay. But the parting gift is all the more welcome. We take those. Although it can't go to sleep now, so that is the unfortunate thing about this. Go ahead and bite, and then we'll start chucking balls at it since this is our last one. Can you believe it? Finally, it's our last one. But then the grueling task begins once I finally capture it, so... One, two, three... First try? Okay. We take those? What? Okay. In that case, I'm just gonna mess with you then, bud. I'm 100% gonna mess with you. I'm absolutely gonna be messing with you, dude. In fact, I'm pretty sure it's quad weak to it. No? Does base resist? It's just normal? Oh, okay. Well, it's a trade war. Okay. This actually might take it out. Ah, oh, barely just doesn't. Okay, that's fine. And earthquake. That is it. Those are all the major fights that I had in mind, honestly, and all the major Pokemon that was available to us for us to snag. We did it finally. Would take me to do it. Good going. My name is Fine. I am the master of disguise. How do you like the job I did? Your reputation's totally trashed. What do you got? Oh my gosh, the perpetrator of the attacks wasn't this trainer, but an imposter. This is a major scoop. It's a huge break in the story. Yeah, it is. Gotta hand it to you, guy. It's tough to beat the real thing. And that's all he has to say to us, so... Alright, well... I'm gonna go heal my Pokemon up real quick before we end off. With that, that is every single Shadow Pokemon for us to capture. And now... the long process of purifying them all. And then once that's done, it's our last bout on Mount Battle. Probably what I'm going to be doing is tomorrow, all I'm going to be doing is just purifying Shadow Pokemon. And then maybe Wednesday evening is when I'll be doing my live stream of the battle mode, Mount Battle. So that'll be something to look forward to for sure. But, oh, I probably should do the one thing that's, like, absolutely fundamental, and that's save. Oh, this is gonna take forever. It already is taking it forever because I've been doing a little bit of it on the side, but still. Ugh. I'm not looking forward to this, but... ah, well. I am kind of more or less done in terms of, like, main content. There really isn't that much else for me to do, but to, just do what I said, purify a Pokemon and do Mount Battle, so... I guess this is technically where we call it quits for now. At least until Mount Battle. So... I really gotta thank you all so much for watching this series. This was a lot of fun to play. And I'm really excited to be playing... I'm really looking forward to playing the other Pokemon games down the line. Especially Gale of Darkness too, right? Because, I mean, it's just a step up from Colosseum, right? But it's not just Colosseum. I'm excited to be playing Pokemon finally on the channel. So, I guess if there is a little bit of feedback that I want to give myself, I probably want to give a bit more in terms of, like, worth and, like, value from, like, replaying games. Specifically, it's, like, games that are, like, games that I've played before, right, and have, like, a good comprehensive amount of knowledge. Those are going to be times when I'll have, like, a good amount to talk about. Like, I don't know, like, maybe, like, Fallout or something like that, you know? But, like, Pokemon games, I'm learning a lot, and I'm able to, like, give a good amount of, like, basic information, too, as well. So I think that's probably what I'm going to try to do for future Pokemon Let's Plays, for sure. And it's not going to be, like, the pitch-perfect, like, no-all, end-all kind of, like, Let's Play. I will give you, like, the fundamentals of everything that we encounter, everything that we battle, and all the little secrets we can try to find. But I'm not the whiz when it comes to, like, competitive and stuff like that, so it's just going to be something to keep in mind for the future. Either way, I had a lot of fun playing this game. I hope it gave you the encouragement to give it a shot and maybe even play it yourself, you know? And eventually Gale of Darkness too, because that's another really good game that I need to also beat too, because I actually didn't beat it. So that'll be a funsies for sure. But that'll about cover it, at least until the live stream. So thank you all so much for watching the Let's Play, and I'll see you next time for Mount Battle. And then after that, and after I get a good break from the insanity that is Mount Battle, we head to a new town. A foggy town, but one where we'll make new friends. So on that note, thank you all so much for watching. I'll see you next time. Stay safe, guys.